Good Monday morning and welcome into Get Up. Beetle and Greenie still on vacation, so I'm Cassidy Hubbarth alongside Ryan Rosillo, who's been here for, how long have you been in New York?
Like a week and a half or something.
So
yeah.
Is that, did you,
I ran out of clothes. I ran out of clothes. I mean, it's not, I'm not even trying to be funny about it.
No.
Although all this LA Galaxy love, you know, I was just trying to balance it out a little bit. Big soccer guy now.
There we go. There we go. But you know what?
That maybe you're annoyed and going, hey, you guys, you know, the tiger effect. All you had to do was watch this thing play out on social media yesterday. That I can get back to at least winning some of these big tournaments.
Yeah. 16 months ago, Tiger could barely walk. And we're talking about a comeback from many things, but specifically his back injury. So we're all morning.
And this happens in some of this joint stuff a lot. We had a huge brawl a couple years ago, but this is so close to like the sidelines that it goes from, oh, this is interesting video, to if it ever got to the point where like fans started getting knocked over, we'd have all sorts of think pieces on what's going on with these scrimmages.
No.
So, you know.
Absolutely. I mean, that, but it didn't. So
it didn't,
now,
no, right. I'm
so
not
now
rooting
just
for
be like,
it.
oh, these happen all the time.
Yeah.
Because we do. We see it all the time in preseason. Jalen, what do you think?
Joint practices, Cassidy, are like sparring matches that lead up into the big fight. These guys are really getting ready for combat. The season is about to start in a couple of weeks, and when you get a chance to play against it,
saying like we need to now prevent this, but it'd just be funny how
by not doing the inter-squad scrimmages because teams fight amongst themselves.
No, you have to do it. Right.
You know, so I don't think the obvious answer is, hey, we shouldn't do these scrimmages anymore, because I think it's good for both teams. All right, let's keep it moving. It's time for my favorite athlete of all time, right this second. And we start with Middletown. I think this is also a lesson that Sam Darnold's going to learn about the media, is that, like, we say, hey, tell us more, give us details.
He gave us a very specific, honest answer.
Like,
right.
Yo, young buck, slow up. One of the biggest storylines remains the new helmet rule and its implementation. Players still have questions what constitutes a legal hit as the league continues its initiative. And with that, we bring in our Dan Graziano. And Dan, we miss you here in the studio, but glad to have you here on the show. What are you hearing about the league and their thoughts after week one of the new helmet rule?
Helmet rule is still a work in progress, and I think that's very important for people to
as time goes on, because, you know, fans don't really like to participate in, you know, stopping down specifically for penalties. But let's bring Dan back into our conversation, get the latest notes from camp, starting with Aaron Donald and that saga in LA, Dan.
Yeah, Aaron Donald's still holding out, looking for a big new contract with the Rams. You know, they're continuing.
Football marathon coming up. This is good information to know. A lot of big names there. Yes, Dan. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Meanwhile, on planet Earth, Ravens coach John Harbaugh learned the hard way that 50 pizzas for a... I mean, Jay, these are full-grown men. You got 50 pizzas.
first off, T-Sizzle, that's my man, and I know he can eat 4 or 5 pieces to himself.
And complains about helmet rules. People also complain about pizza orders. It doesn't matter who you are or the demographics. If you have a pizza party, pro football or just a backyard deal, somebody's going to complain about the layout.
Yeah, especially if it's like you include like a veggie pizza.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was like all cheese, okay, I can understand.
Right. Not all
like,
of us are communists.
What?
This vegan thing.
Like, you know, or like meat lovers and someone doesn't like meat, like then you got a whole pizza ruined or just wasted.
Right.
If that's not.
Oh, you don't like onion on half of this?
No, you don't like pineapple, which by the way should be illegal. Tonight on ESPN, trying to disrespect Brooks Koepka. He won his second major this season, 3rd overall. But, I mean, look, the story is Tiger Woods. And this is a man who hated second place, but as we saw, he basked in it yesterday. Should we consider it a success, Ryan?
Absolutely, and I think all of his comments are incredibly revealing.
He started it in his tweet when he said, you know you done messed up, right? That was Bill Duke from Menace to Society. Did anybody else catch that?
No, that's why we have you. To let us know what's going on.
Actually, Cass can cover a lot of that stuff,
I can, but you know what? I'm not really good at
Are we talking about O-Dog?
They don't stay in my head like that.
No, that's good.
I appreciate that.
It was Kane being interviewed by Bill Duke. He sat him down and said, you know you done messed up, right? You know you done
that's
messed
right.
up.
That's right. When the interrogate, you know what? I love Menace Society. I was actually scared.
Maybe you can call me out. It'd be great if you call me out. Call me out on Twitter. Like, that'd be great for me.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Yeah,
like,
go ahead,
fights happen.
Yes.
And, you know, they actually happen between the Jets and Redskins in their joint practice yesterday and turned into a bit of a brawl, spilling over dangerously close to fans. Jeff, a lot of people are talking about this melee, but isn't this kind of the whole point of joint practices?
Well, it's not really the point of joint practices, but
yes, that's fair. That was the wrong question.
But I will say, though, that my favorite part of this, by far, is Trent Williams starting this, the left tackle. He's a bad man. Don't mess with Trent Williams. I absolutely love it. Look, these practices are there because we don't have 2 days in training camp anymore, so it's a way for.
Hey, we are back here on Get Up, and we wanted to talk to you about something else going on in football right now. University of Maryland football coach DJ Durkin, along with the assistant AD and the head athletes during sprints. And this weekend, a report on ESPN.com detailed the toxic culture in and around Maryland football. An attorney representing the family of Maryland offensive lineman Jordan McNair told ESPN on Sunday that DJ Durkin should be fired as a result of McNair's death from heat stroke suffered during a workout.
A-Rod, everybody hates A-Rod, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know what he's really good at? He's good at breaking down baseball games. I like him again. Lovable A-Rod. I mean, that's a comeback story. So it always feels like, even at the lowest point for these.
I mean, hate's a strong word, so if you're hating an athlete for something that is not dangerous or really offensive to, our culture, then fix your life. It's time to get up and go, where we catch you up. A full-on melee broke out, which actually spilled over near the crowd. That, Ryan, was like the interesting thing, is that it at really close to the fans.
Yeah, that's one of the things that always bothered me about NBA fights, is that it became this thing where if there was a fight in the NBA, you're like, oh, look at the NBA again here. And the biggest reason was because of the Detroit, Indiana thing, where it spilled in to the stands far more than that did. But I don't even think it matters. It's not because it's split squad. It's because guys hate these practices. They hate the preseason.
Jay, do you?
I agree with Josh Norman. The players seem to dislike these joint practices. But I want to take a different turn here and just look at it like this. We're showing the flare-ups in joint practices, and for NFL players, it's become taboo to even fight for those players as